Hello everyone, and welcome to another Followers Rain stream. Hooray! This time, round 3, the quarterfinals. Very exciting. And right now, let's go to the slideshow. This is where you are. Only 8 people remaining. And tonight we'll be seeing RandomJoe versus SCSteele. RandomJoe, I think you've already seen this picture a few times.
I'm not sure if we're on the. I'm here as well, by the way.
Alright, yeah.
I'm not sure if we're on
Tonight.
the right screen because I'm seeing the TCO screen,
Oh, that's not good.
which has Snack and the Leaping Frog still on top of it.
Yeah, that will be fixed in just a small moment.
Okay.
But the TCO screen should be going to the. Yeah, and now to the. Yeah, okay, there you go. Also, hello, Lord Judo. I totally didn't
Hey,
to introduce you.
that's fine.
Lord Judo is here as well tonight. Yeah. There we go. And here you see the matchup. Kota versus Amber Skies. First versus last. First or last. Good Keyforge card. Both pretty monstrous decks. And both very high on the disruption
Yeah.
things.
And we know that Sydney is looking for a lock that's heavily reliant on an artifact, and in logos, we
There's
see
a little
some
itty bitty shark.
yeah, the itty bitty shark. But also, even if she does have it and there's no shark, there's still 2 Scrambler Storms, there's 4 Control the Weaks, and she also needs a board to make Amber, so the live wards are a bit annoying. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
sure who's, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
yeah, I mean, like life ward, sure they'll be annoying, but if Sydney has even one creature in hand, she basically wins, right?
Well, yeah, because there's almost no creatures in RandomJoe, so
So if she does,
yeah.
if she does assemble the combo, even if there's a life ward going on at that point, she can just
True.
put one
But
of the further turns.
usually she needs a bigger board because other people play creatures. But in this case,
Oh, right. Corner market does still let you use the board. Right, right.
yeah, it still lets you use the board. But I don't think RandomJoe actually is building quite a board. So
No, I think there's a total of 5 creatures
yeah, exactly. So
that deck.
in that sense, it's less of a worry the live board, but still it could be yeah, a little bit awkward.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just
And I think people favor Sydney because 31
yeah, I
to
think for the
23.
first time tonight, Sydney
Yeah,
had 31 votes to 23 for RandomJoe.
will that be her downfall that she's no longer the underdog?
Also, we can see that the person who made these slides had
Who made these? Who made these?
no idea.
Yeah. I see
I
the
think
players are
yeah,
in the game.
RandomJoe is here, so we're ready to start the game.
So let's make sure that the screen is all set up. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Last remaining
Definitely,
Coda versus last remaining Ember Skies. Yeah.
yeah, well,
And if Fakey beats Harmed, we'll have 4 different sets in the final 4. Snoopy says that's interesting. But since we're maybe Harmed's fans,
what? No, what?
I still okay. Let me just we're good. The stream is good. But there's 2 random Joes on your things, top and bottom. Yeah, it's being fixed now.
No, it's updated, I think.
Okay. So maybe who's the starting player here? It's Sydney, right?
Yes, she won the flip, so she'll get to see 7 cards and decide if they're good enough for this game. And it looks like Sydney does think the cards are good enough, and RandomJoe decides to take
Yeah.
one here.
So would you What is the ideal start? It's to be futures past within here somewhere. That would be that would be the dream, right? But not as first player because you can't play them both. What
Yeah.
else? Maybe the artifact might be already there. Um,
Yeah. Just maybe like putting down a vapor imp to start
yeah.
pressuring some disruption on your distance. Goes for
Oh,
goes for the corner of the market.
interesting.
Yeah, so that will be just some discards on Random Joe's turn here.
But Random Joe did mulligan, so you'd imagine it's not a very high odds of him having a great hand. And she did
Yeah, I
take
think.
some time to think of whether she wanted to play uh, the corner of the market. So actually control the weak
Yeah,
live ward and shred.
discards three discards. Sets up a.
Oh, see, future is past. And do we have the inner somewhere? Is that what's happening?
Do we have the shards?
No, not the inner somewhere. But she draws back the
Yeah,
corner of the
yes, the
market
inner
next
somewhere.
turn, and the inner somewhere.
Yeah,
See, so the dream was there. Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
but I. Oh no, the shard is in the discard pile, so that will be deployed next turn probably, or well.
Now the corner of the market is in the draw pile, right? And then the
Yeah,
inner
that's
somewhere
the one
should be
remaining
able to
cards.
get should be able
So
to
yeah,
get
archives,
that.
inner somewhere, and shard of resurgence.
But that means that Joe is on the clock. There's only 2 turns for him to find an answer.
Well, 2 turns, but perhaps more with a guaranteed control the week that's in the archives right.
Sure, 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 sure.
So should be able to at least take one pretty big this turn here. Drew
Yeah,
4 cards since the last turn, plus the 3 discards in the archive.
yeah. That's very interesting.
By the way, from a tournament perspective, I guess if nobody is doing anything to progress the board, I'd say SCSteele is just playing corner market each turn but not making any ember. I guess we're just going to time rules at the end of the game, or is there a way to break that stalemate? Oh, I got a notification from Lord Judo that he has to deal with some stuff and will be back momentarily. So see you in a bit, Lord Judo. See you in a bit. And Random Joe does go for the disc. Of course, pulls the archives, controls the weak. I'm guessing, yeah, Aquadon. That seems like the smart choice. Plays the 2 cards that we knew about, generating 2 Ember. And plays another control the weak for the Ember icon. Doesn't want to go into consecutive disc turns just for that card. So yeah, it's up to Sydney, and she
It
does.
does control the weak into Aquidon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
Actually, but the second one doesn't do very much. Did know about this corner of the market, so that will stop Random Joe from playing anything next turn. Plays it in Spirit. See report, and we see some not very impactful cards in the hand because the impactful cards are in the archives right now. Cliff Wings, possibly the most relevant from there. And yeah, Random Joe cannot play anything, so just discards a lot of
Yeah.
actions.
So now the artifact comes down, right?
Yeah, it has to, I think.
And the clipped wings can be
Live
played.
ward. So no
Yeah, but
no board state for Sydney this turn.
you just play the artifact. You play clip wings, and then
Hope for the best. Hope there's not a
yeah.
neutron shark.
But still, there's 2 more turns. So this turn, next turn archive, and then you can loop. So still time to find things.
But we know that Sydney has the inner somewhere in the discard, so she can already archive the corner of the market this turn. Or no, she's not wanted. Never mind.
No, 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 no.
So yeah, that will probably be a two-turn thing. Discard some creatures, kind of play them because of the life wards. Puts the atomic destabilizer onto the charrette. Might actually be
Yeah, but
a
it's
problem for
a
Random
very,
Joe.
very, very big problem.
Yeah,
But oh, uses in here somewhere to.
yeah. So
Oh,
discard some cards.
well, you might argue that if the shark comes down and destroys the shard, then you have the inner somewhere to try again
Yeah,
the turn
definitely.
after.
So she might just be going for the high roll that the shark isn't.
And I wonder if you did this in this, you might have shuffled the archives back in, but maybe the archives weren't that great. So
No, we just saw some shadows actions,
logos.
nothing disrupting anything.
So Random Joe recognizes that he needs to build a board, or Sydney will just lock him out. And yeah,
Yeah. Also the posture bolt on the charrette, putting 3 out of 4 damage on it.
yeah, that's smart. Oh,
There.
ho, ho. The mind fire discords the
Wow,
Mutant Shark. What?
that's that's a good.
Wow.
Now two.
Holy
She did
moly.
have two chances. The clit wings
True, true. The clip
probably.
wings would have been better, but okay. Wow. That's insane. Be right back,
Yes.
by the way.
And it might be difficult for Random Joe to get back from here. Because I was just asking about this. But in the case that no player is taking any actions, in case Sydney is just looping with a clear board, I guess we're just going to time rules. So yeah, Random Joe in a pretty difficult spot. I don't think there's any other artifact control in their deck. Nor any Exhume, because that's not a card that exists in Gotha. Um, yeah, and no Archive Hate, no Decennia in this deck, unfortunately. Perhaps the Mind Barb could do something, but just as likely just get rid of a less useful card in City's hand. And just taking a little bit of a think. I think also that me asking that one question is the thing that causes Lord Judo to go away.
No, no, I'm back.
Oh,
No,
you're
I'm
back.
back.
Okay. Yeah.
No, no. We were discussing this. My kids are sleeping, but they're not fully sleeping, so sometimes I have to step out, but I don't want to miss this. So sometimes I'll just be like,
Kids.
oh, the collar.
Color, yes. So the
Oh.
presence. But
But
also,
wouldn't you have fought the charrette maybe into the dust imp?
yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose it's just really doesn't want Sydney to have this board and
Yeah.
really wants to have any kind of board presence with the control the weak controlled
Maybe.
lockout.
Yeah.
And also plays control the weak into Geistoid.
This is an interesting game here.
Yeah.
Three fates.
That
Ooh.
works. And now you can even kill Dustin
So
or leave
no,
it alive.
I think that one you leave, yeah, because you get to check anyway. Sydney does make a key.
Yeah.
Has to go Geistoid.
Yeah.
You would imagine there might not be that many Geistoid cards in
No,
hand.
perhaps not. Although on the last turn she did discard 2 Aquadon cards with Clit Wings.
Right.
They actually have at least a few cards from it left in her hand.
I see 5 Geistoid cards in a discard.
Yeah.
And 1 on the board. And then technically there's quite some in there still.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Um,
not the worst turn ever.
no,
So
no.
still not the ones you would want to be taking.
Maybe the Veil has come back with a creature.
Yeah, perhaps.
Actually, there's 3 creatures in the discard. And how many creatures are there? Parabite, Portal Colonel Slime. Yeah, so it would
4,
have to
so
be
yeah.
one of the creatures that is there.
The Colonel Slime, right?
The Colonel Slime.
Yeah.
And the Veil of Ectoplasm to stop this
Pretty
key.
specific, but I don't
Or
think
Manifestation. No, doesn't do anything without a creature.
without a creature.
But the clock is ticking, and the shark is in the discard, and a Random Joe needs to cycle 20
Yeah,
cards
but
before he has a chance to.
20 cards.
activate.
I don't think that is very likely.
No.
I think
So
the Random Joe is going to have to make
Remy needs to make a board.
3 keys without help from the shark.
Yeah, but he needs to make a board now.
That's going to be difficult because 4 of his 5?
Yeah, oh no.
4 of his 6 creatures. No, sorry, 7. Okay, so still has 3 creatures left in the deck. And can also
Um,
make like 8 Ember in Shadows this turn.
there's still 3 control the weeks.
3? With
Yeah.
creatures passed, it was shuffled. Right, smart. And here,
So there's another one. Dance
yeah.
of Doom on 2. No, not on 2. It's so tempting to call 2, but like no, I
No,
need the board.
the steady supply of Ember by reaping is more valuable. And yeah, just
So
passion in here somewhere and has to pass it back over to Random Joe.
yeah, but it's not going fast enough this way, huh? So
Yeah, but
that's the third week.
maybe he can just stall a couple turns with the
And then Shadows.
stuff.
Yeah.
Then
Could be.
make a huge burst of Ember with Shadows.
Could be. I don't think that's gonna work though.
Does Sydney have that much Ember control? Like we talked about the Veil.
Let's see. There's security detail.
Sure, that's in the discard.
There is. I'm just listing the M control cards
Yeah,
that I can see here.
like I think it might be enough. Like there's the Infernus, of course.
The Infernus could be huge. Let's see what other atomic destabilizers. The Parabite, Aerial Peddler has something, but not really. I guess. How's that Ember control? Interesting.
Aerial Peddler is because you can capture onto it and then give it control.
Yeah,
Opponents.
sure. Random Joe thinking. So 3 control the weeks used.
Fort might not be in hand.
No. The Skippy. Oh,
Ooh, that's
Skippy and Scrambler Storm. I
and
think
Scrambler Storm.
I
Wow.
might have saved the Scrambler Storm. So he
I
cannot
think
use.
you're probably still in a. I like it because you want
Yeah.
one big Shadows turn
She's gonna
to
plot,
close out the.
plot down her board now, right? Her Vapor Imps, her Furnace, all those things. So
Yeah, but
the
it
board
might
is
not matter
becoming.
if because if she doesn't find the Veil of Ectoplasm.
Yeah, you don't. You think it doesn't matter?
If I think Random Joe has huge burst potential in
Yeah, but
never mind.
next turn you will not be able to
Sydney,
do anything.
I figured with the Clit Wings, Sydney would purge random card from the hand, but she did decide to shuffle the shadows into the deck with it. So I was thinking there was a huge shadow.
Oh, right. No, there's nothing. No. So
No,
now there's
no,
a board. We know that there's not a lot of creatures.
definitely not.
What are the board wipes in?
The Dance of Doom and Three Fates. I think
Oh,
is impactful.
insane discard for the look insane. Just easy Galena. Yeah. Joe basically goes until hand of full shadows and hopes to burst. Yeah. She's stalling the shark. Yeah. This something has to happen now for Joe this turn. There's 2 Scrambler Storms in the deck in total.
Yeah, might
There's one more
another
control of
one.
the week. So could find another mind control of the week or another Scrambler Storm. That could give you another turn, except for the fact that if you do a Scrambler Storm, it's probably the only thing you do, and Sydney reaps for 4, right?
Yeah, of course.
Um,
But if you Scrambler Storm
and
and
Vapor Imp.
Reap with Skippy, you're at least a check.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you might just, if you
Maybe.
draw the
Yeah.
right shadow stuff, you might just be one turn ahead of the Sydney's
It could be.
generation.
It's, this is a very good game already. It's very
Yeah, definitely.
it's very interesting the decisions that these players need to make.
Yeah, because we saw the very early potential for the lockouts from Sydney,
Yeah, yeah, and Random
but
Joe
with
has
yeah,
been able
Random
to
Joe
dodge it.
just
Yeah.
uh, taking small turns, forcing Sydney to do
Okay.
some other stuff.
Go with shadows.
Does go for the
Maybe
shadows.
this
So
seizes the window of opportunity to
yeah, I suppose if you
go hard.
you do also have some creature control in shadows. So if you can poison wave Relentless Whispers some stuff.
That would be
Oh yeah,
Relentless Whispers, Nerve Blast. That does hurt. Ghostly Hand hurts
steal
a
the
lot,
last ember.
but if you raise now, I think Sydney will still win if she can control some Amber. Actually, no,
Well,
no, 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 no. Random Joe will win the race.
yeah, that's it's. But again, there's of course this fill of ectoplasm. Potential
Yeah, but not in this. Not in this.
in
And
yeah.
she needs to. She needs to use that like the second turn. So
Um,
this is. I want to say I'm rooting. I would have to pick Random Joe now.
yeah, like I said, the potential Ember Burst in Shadows was pretty huge, and it seems like with just discarding one or two discards
Yeah.
each turn has built up a pretty significant hand with that.
So there goes the corner of the market. But
Yeah, the infinite corner in the market has been unlocked. Joe only has one locust creature on the board. But yeah,
Infernus could get rid of 3 Amber, but that's not enough.
no way.
Um, could maybe hope to find. It has to find the Infernus at least, and then the clipped wings with the capture pip is also
In the
gone.
discards, yeah, no.
The mind fire is in the discard.
Alright, yeah.
Um, there's an infinity strop
So yeah,
with a
so
capture. There's another clipped wings with a capture. So there's still
probably
some capture, but needs to get rid of 4 Amber.
yeah,
And Joe not
so
making
so
anything.
probably Sydney will have to take a Geistlight turn next turn.
Hmm.
That giving Joe that one extra turn won't be able to get him out of the lock.
Yeah, but that one extra turn can control the weak
I'm not.
or
Yeah, and Random Joe's deck can turn one turn into 3 turns, of course. Um,
yeah. Also Slayer goes now.
so
So very high chance of finding the Infernus and the Infinity Strop with the capture,
yeah,
but that's
sure.
not enough, as we know, right?
No,
She is just 1 Amber off, I think.
only
She's
yeah,
just
because
one
you
capture pip off, unless she finds the
no,
Infinity
so two
Strop as
Ember, right?
well. If she finds the Infinity Strop and the Infernus
She
and
captures
the clipped wings with a capture, she can get rid of 2 Amber of Ghostly Hand plus 1,
the
and
clipped wings with
then
the captures in the discard pile right now.
there's 2 of them.
Oh, they both have no capture. Wow. Okay.
So Infernus could get rid of 3, then he's at 7. Then Infinity Strop capture,
Yeah. So that
and
that would
then
be
yeah,
exactly enough.
yeah, but goes into Aquadon.
That's
So security
not the
detail.
house
No,
you want to see as
no,
being
no, no.
Sydney. Plays a security detail, captures two, but it's not enough, and Joe wins the game.
Woof, woof, woof. There's one card in the draw. Yeah, there was a way. There was a way, but she didn't have it. Wow.
Yeah, I mean one card in the draw, but after having drawn so 4 cards in the draw at the beginning of her turn.
I see the Infinity Strop is in the discard now. Where did that come from?
It was, not sure.
Hmm.
Because,
Yeah, yeah. She needed Infernus, Infinity Strop, and Clip Wings. to survive that because a ghostly hand is 2 Ember Pips, another Ember Pip, and then 2 captures, and then there was nothing RandomJoe could have done. I got kicked out of the game, but
I didn't.
oh,
So yeah, now it's up to Sydney once more. But even though RandomJoe did by fighting very hard, I must say, get out of the lock or didn't succumb.
yeah, that was impressive. That was
I,
impressive.
I feel like Sydney might still be favored in this matchup.
Well, you saw my vote.
Yeah, I saw your votes.
um, it was the dream that Sydney had at the start. So futures pass and in here somewhere, and corner the market in opening hand,
Yeah,
and
perhaps.
still it was so.
But it seems like Sydney's dream is going to be going second. So
Oh, I see churn. Okay, where do we go? I
we
see.
go by discarding a lot of
Control the week.
cards and discarding 2 Scrambler Storms and a Control the Week.
Wow.
She has to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. The shark would have been even more crazy. But
Perhaps, yeah.
so I think RandomJoe's tactic is now to try to pump out Amber.
Yeah, so discards the card for the corner of the market, tries to build up the archives.
Yeah.
And it's back to Sydney, going back into Aquadon, the house she didn't at all call during round 2, now going into it back to back.
Just 2 creatures though. What would you have in your other 4 cards that makes you not choose them? 2/2 maybe, or in here somewhere, or
Yeah, it's interesting.
maybe trying to find the Futures Pass. Maybe Futures Pass is there and waiting for a draw of in here somewhere. Maybe.
No, but I think even if you have the Futures Past, you might not want to play it with.
Well, you know that the shark might not be there then.
I mean, that's the upside, but the downside is having to fight through double Scrambler Storm, single Control of the Week in 8 cards.
That's not easy.
And meanwhile, RandomJoe building up a very impressive board, especially for their deck.
Especially for RandomJoe's standards, this is
Yeah.
a huge board.
Clipped Wings. So gonna get rid of the. This time decides to purge cards.
Maybe has 2, huh?
Which was
Maybe.
hoping for Charette.
Or was hoping, hey, maybe I discard or purge the shark. Infernus.
Yeah, I'm going
So
to get rid of.
control the week and the Scrambler Storm.
Probably, yeah.
Then
Maybe
the Futures
Control the Week and Wild Wormhole if you're crazy, but no, that's the obvious plan here.
This is a lot of amber as well for Sydney.
Yeah.
Potential on the board.
Also, pretty big
and
this time.
And the shard is down. So Joe is not scared yet, but should be soon, because one more call of this or Geist to it sets up the lock.
Yeah.
And the board is not looking good.
Now, RandomJoe did just recently go into a Logos turn, so the chance of having Shark might be slightly lower than average.
Yeah, it would be pretty low, I would say.
So might just be might have to dig for the Shark this turn.
So you would control the week into Aquadon?
Probably, yeah. But that might be the reason that Sydney up the boards, just so that she can 3 times.
Place 2 times control the week. So there's only 1 control the week left.
Really? Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, double control the week. Yeah, right.
Security detail would be huge because it buys her another turn.
Yeah, just taking the check away, and
doesn't look like
it. Fights into the Titan mechanic to get rid of it and also make the key 1 more expensive for you.
So Joe can take a nice Shadows turn, right? Because there's 3 Shadows cards in his archive.
Yeah, or this if he found another control the week.
I don't think you want to use it yet.
I mean, yeah, perhaps, but also, yeah, no, okay, probably not.
Yeah, if it's the only thing you're doing, I don't think it's worth it. Let me have a look at the chat. What they seem to think.
It's something I might have been neglecting.
The baby is approaching the corner here. Here there be shadows. Yeah.
All right,
The,
let me update the scores. Right, yeah.
yeah.
The top
Updating
score
the score.
should actually be a 1, but
RandomJoe uses Keo to fight into Infernus and Positron Bolt and plays a Skippy. There's so much stalling there.
yeah.
Lab work to archive a card, draws 3 new ones. Only 8 cards in the draw left.
But it might not actually stall Steel if she has the inner sum,
Inner
or
Zone,
one of the inner summers here.
true. That is true.
Yeah, and does
Does
have
have
it.
it.
So
Would you flip the discard pile now if you could? So Infernus and Coin in the Market. That sounds good. Because if the shark comes down and she can kill it, she can purge it, and then control Ember at the same time.
mhm.
Who knows that the legacy Infernus could be
Yeah.
MVP. Obviously, that's also why she picked that pot.
Yeah,
Does play Future Spouse, right?
yeah,
So
and
let's see. Was the shark in the? It's the shark is not in the
yeah,
discard.
it
So it's in
definitely
hand.
is.
It's in hand, right?
It's in hand. Yeah.
Right.
The last control week is in the discard pile, so that one isn't. Let me quickly check the logos. We've seen. I think there's.
So in this, you
Ooh,
have Infinity's Drop, but it's in the discard. So is there a way in this to kill the shark? Ecstasy Siphon is also
I think there's a damage icon on.
okay. That would be nice. There's a damage icon on only the Equidon stuff.
Oh, right.
So it doesn't look like she'll be able to kill the shark in.
Well, because the XT siphon is. Yeah.
So I think logo seems pretty good now.
On the one hand,
Because if you
yes. On
don't,
the other hand, I
don't,
think
you're
there's
still
only
fine.
a Valiant Analyst other than the shark in hand right now.
But still, if you don't do it now, then
Yeah,
next
you gotta.
turn you can
And
do
you
it,
can still
right?
reap for
Yeah.
2, of course, so it's not the
Yeah.
worst ever.
No, I think it's okay.
Also,
And you have to do
if Random Joe gets unlucky with 3 non-local scars in a row, has to kill the own shark here.
it. And then the Infernus.
Gets to purge it, yeah. But do you care at that point? Like, if we just flipped with Futures Past, do you still try to find the shard if you're SCSteele, or do you just have to commit to racing at that point?
I don't think you can win the race.
But I also don't think you can
Yeah.
block again if the shard gets destroyed.
Decides to draw first.
Finds the positron bolt.
There's the shark. So how much is it going to do? Oh, it kills itself. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough, I think.
Yeah, so but okay. So you can purge a control the weak, purge a shark. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
it doesn't.
maybe you do that after you set up your stuff again. So corner the market maybe now.
Yeah, it does go for the corner mark.
So there's no drawing. Build a little bit of a high street churn.
Discards the ghostly hand
Oh, that's nice for the
for the Infernus. Yeah,
Yeah.
and play
There you go.
creatures.
Yeah. Can swap the peddler next turn with something.
For the Keo, probably, yeah.
So clipped wings would be nice if it's there, and definitely has a chance that the clip wing with the draw is in hand and the Infernus.
Yeah.
So ghostly hand and shark seem like good targets. But you say maybe you do the control the weak.
But I think Shark might not even be the point anymore because again, Random Joe is probably not going through the discards that quickly.
Well, it's a draw 8, 8. So I think rather quickly it can be done. with
Yeah, but
that
I think
level.
the game is over before Random Joe gets the chance to
I'm not
start
sure.
the shark
Not
again.
sure. Because Sydney's Infernus can do work here.
Yeah, of course. And Sydney
And then
will
security
delay a lot.
detail at one point. So let's see what she does decide to use with the Infernus. I think Ghostly Hand is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
gotta.
the second one might
I
be more
think,
challenging. I
yeah,
think I would go for the shark because
I think I just
it's
go
so
for
scary.
either Control the Weak or Wild Wormhole here. Just
But
grab the
if you
auto
say that,
disruption and the extra Ember
I mean
disruption.
I mean Control the Weak can hurt as much as the shark can.
Yeah, and you delete one more bonus Ember with that.
Yeah. The choices. I'm glad I don't have to make them.
Uh,
So shark
yeah,
and
yeah,
ghostly hand.
does
So
go for
Sydney
the
thinks
shark.
like me. I like it. I like it. And now you can swap the Kyo. Yeah.
Yeah, takes the
Give an amber
gets to
there.
use it.
Yeah. You can fight and draw, and you flip, and then maybe something cool draws in hand. But
Perhaps.
this is super scary as well, huh? With the Vapor Imp. Ooh,
Oh,
discards the Veil from the Ecstasy Siphon.
yeah, because she just flipped, so will not do
Right.
too much probably.
That's right. That's right. Random Joe.
Yeah, the Vapor Imp can be pretty devastating here.
So maybe I lost track of the control weeks. One is purged. The other one is
Yeah,
in a
there
discard.
two are in the draw pile for Random.
Or in the draw. Okay.
But also, all right, with the clipped wings shuffling some shadows cards, I think back into the deck. Has found the control weak
Aquidon.
Aquidon
Okay.
and
I
Dance of
think.
Dooms, the trees.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh
And the collar. Oh
wow,
boy. Oh boy.
that's no
Action cards.
action cards. Wow.
Oh, that is terrible because I think the only thing that might be left is actions in Aquidon.
Well, there's at least one creature.
Okay, I was wrong.
One more creature.
The Dance of Doom was clutch there.
Yeah,
That was a
definitely.
great hand from Random Joe.
Because
Discards
now
the
the Vapor will get to
discards
the
transparency.
survive here.
Transparency reward would have been also huge because she would have gone to check
Would have
for.
gone to check. Yeah.
So, two control the weeks in a discard, one purged, other
Yeah.
one.
One in
If
the drop pile
there
somewhere
now,
probably.
you instantly call this, right? Because you pop the life ward, you reap with the Vapor Imp, you sacrifice your Dust Imp maybe.
Maybe, but you can the life ward you can of course do in other houses as well. So if you have a lot
No,
of
sure.
shadow
But I'm just
hands,
saying that the potential for the Vapor Imp with the control weak to do a lot of damage and get yourself to check is
oh,
big.
you
So
mean if you have control weak? Yeah, that's
if you have control weak, yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah,
you would probably
I think it's
instantly call.
pretty instant. This, if not, I think there might be a lot of other options. Let's do a quick check of the amount of shadows cards.
Snoopy would have gone for control the weak and ghostly. Yeah, was also
Okay,
fair. I think.
so goes to this,
Oh,
discards the Infinity Strop,
with the mind bar.
pretty clutch.
Yeah.
Uses the Life Ward.
So what would the Vapor Imp discard? High chance of actions, right? Because there's only
So
almost
many actions, yeah.
3 fates.
Three
So
fates,
the
destroy
yeah,
Sydney's wards.
really good.
Oh, does kill the. That's it.
Okay.
Gives a key to Sydney here.
Action cards, no action cards.
So yeah, Sydney
Hmm.
watching the second key, but Random Joe checking pretty significantly for the second key as well here, and cannot play any action cards. So once again, a tough spot for Sydney, I think.
Yeah. Random Joe keeps finding ways out of the lock that was coming, and now puts Sydney in a very tough spot every turn. Discard's in there somewhere. Discard's Portal Guardian.
Discards the
Oh,
Portal
boy.
Guardian. That's all right. The Life Ward. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's Vapor Imp. By now, the other controller week might be there.
yeah. But again, you might not even need it. The Ember control is pretty lacking, and with no lock threatening, I think Random Joe is in a
How do you make 3 Ember easily? Well,
well, easily is probably not the word I choose. So yeah, no, doesn't find another Ember, but does lock Sydney into
Atomic
Dice
Destabilizer could
Dodge
be
once
there.
more.
Oh, Atomic Destabilizer not there. Oh,
That would have
oh,
been
oh,
pretty good.
yeah.
But no, just discarding in here somewhere.
So, is there a
Getting locked
Scrambler
out of
Storm
action
still?
cards 3
No.
turns in a row.
Yeah, the color on the Vapor Imp.
Yeah.
MVP. I think you would still, you just play it. Um, because the risk reward might be super high.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in like neutral board state, maybe after the future is past, those considerations change. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's definitely like if you know for certain your opponent has a color of subordination in hand, I don't think you play it. Um, but I think if you put it fresh into the board, you definitely play it. And I'm not sure uh, where the equal point lies. And Random Joe here taking a pretty long think about how to best close out this game. Um, oh, where did the discarded the Scrambler Storm with the Vapor Imp last turn. So that might be an
Ah, I mean, you just make a lot of Ember now if you can, or as much Ember as you can.
yeah, or
But
but
reaping with the Vapor
alternatively,
Imp also
just
sounds.
going into alternatively going into this and just reaping once. If you hit an action card, that's that's probably it. So that
Yeah,
would be the consideration here.
yeah, probably. Because indeed, all the Parabyte, um, the Parabyte
So,
could
yeah,
still do something, right?
yeah, but I think if Sydney had Parabytes, unless you just drew it with one draw, would have probably played it on the previous 2 turns.
Probably, yeah.
But goes for Shadows. Poison Waves, so goodbye Vapor Imp.
Yeah, yeah,
It makes
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
Ember.
That might
Let's
be
see
enough.
if SCSteele can answer this.
Goes to this.
Yes.
I don't think in this is there.
Is there the
2 capture pips
Infernus
maybe.
somewhere? No,
Maybe
it's
2
not.
capture pips.
Um,
Ah, there
yeah,
it is.
good game
Random
to
Joe.
Random Joe.
Ooh, those were some games.
Yeah,
Man,
definitely. Just the
yeah.
small annoying turns from Random Joe every time.
Well played. Well played. Sorry I thought so long at the end. I don't think that was long. That
I
was
think it was just a medium thing.
yeah, yeah. It wasn't on Ewok or JDG level things.
I don't think I've watched
Yeah.
those games yet.
No. But yeah, that's great. Random Joe moves on. Sorry for Sydney to not make it to the final 4, but put up a great fight. I think Random Joe's slipperiness,
Yeah.
I imagine like a snake, like a boa constrictor trying to strangle the prey, and it just slips out every time.
Oh,
Um, yeah, pretty cool.
I think of it more as the opposite. Like Random Joe is a hedgehog. You try to get hold of him,
Um,
but just everywhere are these annoying spikes, and you know
right.
you can get hold of him somehow. It should be
Yeah.
possible, but just getting poked constantly by all these annoying little things.
Okay, but the Keyforge night is not over because I'm starting the stream with Easy Kalina versus Arentalong, our challenger match. So please tune in to that game. I will do a preview soon, and then we'll be starting because the players request to start a little bit early. So thanks for having me, Captain Gill. I'm going to set
Yes.
up my own stream.
Thanks for
And
commentating, and
yeah,
everyone go watch at Lord Judo's stream.
all right.
Let us know in the comments, is Random Joe a hedgehog or a snake? Good
All
night.
right. See you. Bye.